Hey guys, it's Gabby, and I'm so sorry that it took me so long to get you guys another tutorial, but I'm back today and I'm going to try and teach you guys how to Charleston. Hopefully I've also taken care of the audio problem. I am so sorry about that again. I'm still learning, so bear with me. Anyways, to learn the Charleston, you're going to use some of the ideas that we learned when we were learning the T-step. You're going to definitely need that weight change, from the toe to the heel. That's key for most everything in shuffling and cutting shapes. You want to start and you want to have your toes turned in towards each other and your knees turned in towards each other like this. And you want your knees bent, you don't want them to be straight. You can do straight, I guess, but that's kind of down the road a little bit once you've mastered the basis of the Charleston. So you want to start with your knees bent and both of your feet turned in towards each other. And you can pick whichever leg you want. I'm going to start with my left leg off the ground. If you want to start with your right, you can do that too. The left is just kind of easier for me. So whichever foot you pick, you're going to take one foot off the ground. Your knees are still facing each other and toes are still facing each other, even though one's off the ground, So all the weight should be on whichever foot's on the ground. Then you're going to turn both heels out towards the front. So you want to turn your heels towards the front, and the foot that's off the ground is going to tap in front, So boom, just like that. Then I'm going to turn both my toes and my knees in towards each other again, tap, and I'm going to tap towards the back and turn out both heels. Then I'm going to bring my toes and knees towards each other again, and then I tap and turn my heels out and tap in the front, boom. Then I turn my toes and knees in again, and then I tap and turn out to the back. Got it. Turn in, tap, turn in, tap, turn in, tap, turn in, tap. And that's to start. I was teaching this and someone actually asked me, don't you step in between? And you can step, but let's start with just practicing one foot and getting one foot down. The motion of really going forward, in, forward, in, back, in, forward, in, back, in, forward, in, back, in. That's the main part you have to have down before you can do anything else with the Charleston, And you can definitely make the Charleston all kinds of things and add all kinds of things. I'll show you guys once facing the side too. So you're going to turn both toes and knees in towards each other, and then we're going to turn our heels out. One foot's off the ground, and we tap front. We turn in, we tap back, turn in, tap front, turn in, tap back, in, front, in, back, in, front, in, back. So make sure you practice that first, get that down, and then we can start practicing speeds, and you can practice hitting it a little faster. That's the main part. Get it down on one leg first. I can't say that enough, Don't start trying to step to the next foot before you even mastered one foot, And I see a lot of the time with the Charleston, people get the heel part, like the turning in and out, so they think that they have it. But a lot of the time it doesn't look clean because of how they're tapping their foot that's off the ground. So what I like to tell people is really try and make your shape as dramatic as possible when you're touching either front or back. So if I'm touching to the front, I really make sure that I'm trying to cross this front heel in front of this toe that's on the ground as much as possible, so it creates a really nice diamond. And then when I go to the back, same thing. I try and tap this toe right in line with this toe, so it creates a nice shape. In, tap, in, tap, in, tap, in, tap, So then once you've mastered that and you think you can do it a little faster, which once you've mastered it and you can get the speed down, it'll look something like this.
My heart.
Then you can practice stepping in between. So to step in between, it's really simple. All you're going to do, tap front, turn in, and this time instead of tapping to the back, so we tap front, this time instead of tapping back, we're going to step on it as this front foot turns out. Then I turn my toes in to tap the other foot back, Then I turn them in, and this time instead of tapping forward, I step on it, Boom, tap, hop, step, in, tap, in, step, in, tap, in, step, in, tap, in, step. So essentially you're doing the same thing as you would be if you're doing it on one leg, tap in, tap. But instead of 2 taps, you're doing 1 tap, 1 step. So I'm tapping and stepping, and tapping and stepping, and tapping and stepping, and tapping and stepping. Yeah? And every single time that you step, the whole illusion is to make it look like you're doing another Charleston, yeah? So I tap, I turn my legs in, I step. This front foot still turns out, yeah? So my heels are still turning even as I'm stepping. Then I turn in to tap the other foot. Back, turn in, step on it, both feet turned out. So to do that, I stepped and my feet turned out. Step, my heels are turning out to the front. Step, to tap, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step. I'll show you guys to the side ones. So you turn your legs in, we tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step. Yeah? So that's the Charleston, and then you can go ahead and, just like with the T-step, how I showed you different ways to play with it, you can do the same thing here. You can tap, front twice, tap, back twice, front, step, front, back, tap in, step. Yeah? And you can just change it up and do your own thing with it. But the main part that you really have to get down is just 1 foot. You want both feet. You don't want to get just 1 foot, obviously. But I mean, starting off with just 1 foot. You want to get the Charleston down clean on 1 foot before you try to change it up in between. Yes? So obviously do both feet. Go to this one and get it down on the other foot too. Yeah? And that's the Charleston.